Joining us is India's ace golfer, Anirban Lahiri. Anirban, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Karishma. My pleasure.
Anirban, starting off with, obviously, you've qualified for the FedEx playoffs. How are you looking at the season ahead?
I'm just trying to finish on a high. It's been a up and down season for me. Couple of high points, lots of lows. But that's all in the past now. I'm just trying to focus on, this week and the upcoming playoffs and, try and make it my best season so far on the PGA Tour. Just finish strong.
And Anirban, looking back at how the season has been, what have been your key takeaways and learnings that you're going to take ahead for 2022 into 23?
I think that I've made a lot of progress in terms of cleaning up. I've been a professional now for almost 15 years, but I'm still learning. And I just learned a little bit more about how to handle pressure, how to have an even better process and a system when I'm playing. And there's been a lot of positives, towards growing in that direction, that dimension. But at the end of the day, I'm still chasing my first win. So that's definitely going to be on my mind.
But you spoke about growing. You've had two top 10 finishes this year. Highlight would be the runners-up at the Players' Championship.
Yes, absolutely. Those were good events for me. I would have liked that number to be 4 or 5 instead of 2. I have had a few top 20 finishes outside of that, but just not been as consistent as I would like. I haven't been able to maintain that level of golf that I would have liked through the season. So I'm just working on that, working on getting a little bit more consistent tournament weeks. And also, whenever I get the opportunity to build some momentum to actually kind of push that through into tournaments where I contend on the Sunday. I just haven't, outside of 2 or 3 weeks, haven't really put myself in that position. So that's going to be my goal now, towards the end of the year.
And personally, also, it's been a good year for you, Anirban. Are you getting the time to be with the family as well?
Yeah, I'm not sure about the sleep, but it's been fun. It's always it's a huge blessing, and we feel very very lucky, very blessed to be able to be in our position and do what we love to do and have families and balancing and juggling that can be a challenge, but it's one that we welcome, and I feel very grateful for everything that's happened this year.
And Anirban, every time I interview you, I ask you a question on Indian golf and whether it's progressed any further, whether it's months or years when I speak to you. So again, that question, where are you seeing Indian golf in terms of being on the world map?
I think we're entering a good phase for Indian golf. I think we're entering a good phase for Asian golf as well. I think post-COVID, there was this lull, and obviously during COVID, everything had come to a standstill. So I think the world and Asia, specifically India, is finally beginning to move on from that. I was just looking at the schedule published by the PGTI. There's suddenly looking at a 15-16 event schedule for the rest of the year. That's a big positive. Like I've always said, and I continue saying, we don't have a dearth of talent or potential. I think it's always been playing opportunities, and playing up opportunities at the higher level. It's good to see, we've had the young guys like Rashid and Chika and Kalin, obviously Shubhankar's carrying the flag in Europe, do what they do, but it's also nice to see youngsters like Viraj, Madappa and Karandeep and all these guys who are now, sort of progressing on to the Asian tour and beginning to play well on that level. So yeah, I think we have a lot of talent. We have a lot of youngsters. Now it's a matter of them sort of learning, growing, and making the most of the opportunities and the exposure they have. I'm happy to say that there's more opportunities now going into the future than there was probably the last time we spoke. So, hopefully that trend continues, and these young guys, these kids, as I would say now, would make the most of it and start upping their levels and start pushing towards the higher tours and trying to get into Europe or Japan or even here. So yeah, I wish them all the best.
Last 2 questions, Anirban. Personally, for you, what are your goals for 2023 as your golf career progresses?
Well, obviously, I'm chasing my first win here. That is proved elusive. that's definitely on my mind, and just I want to now start bringing a level of consistency into my golf, and start playing at a higher level more weeks than not. I think it's been inconsistent. It's been a season plagued with inconsistencies, and I'm looking to plug that and tackle that as best as I can. And I think as far as I keep playing to my A game, I think a lot of the results will take care of themselves, like we saw earlier this year. So my goal is just to get my golf back to where I know it can be. Like I said, we've had glimpses of it, but I'd like that to be the staple, be the standard. And then obviously look at moving back up the world rankings, getting back into the majors. There's so many things that I'd like to achieve and do. And yeah, I mean, it's endless. You keep chasing these things, and that's what drives us.